Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today. Today, as I shoot this on Tuesday, it is actually my anniversary, Bub and I. It's our wedding anniversary, August 5th, and guess what? I have a date tonight. We're gonna go out to eat, we're gonna go see a movie like old times, and I can't believe it. But here I am, it's dark and early, and tell me this isn't mom life. This is gonna be the date makeup. I plan for this to get me through the entire day so I can go on my date later. And really, we do not go on dates nearly enough. We need to be more intentional about it. It just seems like there's lots of stuff going on, 3 young kids, but I'm going out tonight. I'm probably not gonna wear this shirt, but this will be the makeup that I intend for it to last all day. So I forgot and applied this off camera. This is the Power Grip Primer from e.l.f. I feel like my skin can use the extra tacky moisture, you know, right now, so I went for that. And then I'm gonna use the Maybelline Super Stay 24-Hour Skin Tint in 130. I've seen this in different skin tint conversations, you know, this product, simply because that is in the name, but I feel like it is such an all-out foundation. You know, it really has a lot of coverage, has a lot of staying power. They call it a skin tint, but dang, to me this is foundation, and it lasts really, really well. So I've got that kind of smeared on, and then I'm gonna blend it in with my beauty blender. The shade is 130. I have 2 colors in this, 120, which is super duper light for me, and this, even with a bit of a tan, might be a touch dark still, but I think it's gonna work just fine today. This foundation kind of reminds me of the L'Oreal hyaluronic tinted serum that I really love so much. This one might be capable of a little more coverage, it seems like, if that's what you're wanting, but both are awesome. Blended in with a sponge, I'm getting like a medium coverage out of this one. Next up, I'm taking my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in Light Peach. I know I am running a little low on this, but I think there's enough to get the job done today for sure. There we go. And I think I'll use this Morphe M132 just to spread out my product a little bit. You know what we've been watching lately with the kids? Full House reruns. Yep. Yes, there's some cheesiness, but there's also a lot of wholesomeness. And actually some moments where the show is way funnier than I remember. Now that I've got it roughly spread, I'm gonna take my sponge and dab it in. So I'm super smooth and brightened, and it might even look like a little too bright right now. But you know, of course, we are going to set that. We're going to come in with bronzer and other stuff and make it all make sense. And today I'm going to use Wet n Wild. This is my Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder in Soft Pink, and I'll get a little bit of that on my puff. I think this powder is so good. I've really been using it interchangeably with the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection, and I really like them both. This is the much better value. I'm setting around my T-zone. I've been getting kind of dry in the area between my nose and my mouth. I'm not having like lip eczema, which I have had in the past, but just, I don't know if I failed to moisturize that zone well enough or what. But today I even, in my skincare, I layered up a little bit of Vaseline right in there just to add to it. So you might not see a ton of powder on there visibly. There's not loads of excess. But I go over with my brush, work it in, work it around a little bit better. And then I can't stop with this stick. I love this, this Rimmel multitasker. Somebody's probably thinking she's in cahoots with Rimmel. She's just always all about Rimmel, but I'm not at all. I bought this myself. It's the multitasker bronzing stick in tan, and it's such a fabulous texture. Again, it feels like you're swiping on a Merit stick, but it's leaving so much more pigment. And I love what it does. The shade Tan, at first I was like, probably gonna be too dark. Nope, perfect. And look at how easily it blends. See? I love it. I'm trying to think, like, I also really enjoy the Physicians Formula 2-in-1 stick, and that one's super creamy, lays down with total ease. But this one feels maybe even more balmy than that. But it's like if you didn't need blush and bronzer in one stick, you just wanted the contour or bronzer type of step, definitely just grab the Rimmel, right? Just really like the tone. I love how it can just sit on your skin and no problem. It's gonna blend in with ease no matter what. Okay, looking awesome, and I think in the name of staying power, I will layer up a little powder bronzer on that. And actually this Rimmel Natural Bronzer layers up quite well. It's not a super intense bronzer, but it works. Sun Bronze is my shade. I could just gently set it. Yeah, she's in it for the long haul now. And if I even want to do a light, like, nose contour type deal, that's about as intense as it gets for me. Maybe a little bronzer on my brush. Oh, I can't believe school is starting. The end of this week. Actually, the day this goes up will be Ugga's day to meet the teacher and the girls' first day of school. I am excited. I'm happy. It's just a feeling that's hard to explain. Ooh, you know what I'll use for blush? Let's do one of these little Morphe palettes, because then you've got the ability to put the cream on and then set it. I'm going to do Blind Date. So it's these very classic pinky tones, and this is cream. This is cream with a little shimmer under it, and then that's your powder. Shade name is Blind Date. My date with Bub is anything but a blind date. That's funny. I'm on the last episode of Parenthood. That show is so good. Love the actors in it. Love Craig T. Nelson. Of course, it's got Lauren Graham from Gilmore Girls. It's got Dax Shepard. The actress who plays Christina, like, she's had some amazing seasons. Just love it. Okay, I've just been dabbing, just straight dabbing that top shade on, and it's, you know, soft. The next shade has a little glow to it, so let's add a little bit of that maybe right in here. Get a little more apple of the cheek with it. I can see some glow, a little bit. Okay, just a little gentle sheen there right on the apple of the cheek. And then we're going to go all the way. We're going to use that powder in the bottom. The powders in these palettes tend to be fairly pigmented. And I feel like that's where, yeah, we're really going to see some color come off. Beautiful. Yep, I need you to last all day, blush. And I think it will. You know, we've done the right things on the base products. Got a reliable foundation on, a good concealer, of course. We're putting the face steps on, and we're making sure that creams get set. That looks really cute. I'm into that. And so far, this look is all drugstore, so I think I'll just stay there with it. Drugstore date night. Yeah, I'm going to use Revlon Skin Lights Daybreak Glimmer. Probably my favorite highlight. Just get a little bit of that on a Real Techniques setting brush. I'm just wanting to keep it real soft. So just a little gentle blend there on top of the cheeks. I tend to feel like the softer I go with the glow, the more fresh this look is going to actually come off all day. You know, because sometimes if you just get too heavy with the highlighter, then you feel like your pores and your fine lines are showing a little bit more. You know, it might all look good right when you put it on, but sometimes we don't think about the way glowy makeup actually continues to look all day and how it truly wears. So keeping that step light. And then I think I'll use my Essence Fix-In Last, the 18-hour mist, because that really is effective. There we go, totally locked in. That doesn't really majorly change the look of my skin. It's not like, oh, I'm so dewy now, but I believe it helps the staying power for sure. I feel like I am right down to the tail end of my Clean Fresh Nano pencil, so let's use that. She's going to be used up very soon. Really like this product, but you can get the Morphe one for a little cheaper, just so you're aware. One thing I might do, I'm thinking about what kind of eye look I want. I might throw on a lash, but do it later in the day. I just don't want to be thinking about that false lash all day, like, oh, is it starting to come up in the inside part? Like, I know it could last all day, but I just don't want to be thinking about it. So what I'll do this morning is just make sure I have some black liquid liner on my eye look, and then when I decide to put a lash on, if I decide to, it can just sit on top of that. And I won't have to apply any eyeliner, you know, with mascara done. Gosh, I love nano style brow pencils. Like, I can see exactly where I still needed to get. I can make it happen. Parenthood really got me crying last night. I don't know if you can tell, like, my eyes are a little puffy. Just be ready. There will be some emotional episodes. Last night we finished the second to last one and just got started on the last. Oh, I'm making my own little mini muffins for my kids. Do you know how ridiculous it is when you buy those little pouches? Because they love them, you know, the little pre-packed pouches of mini muffins. But you can get like a Martha White little muffin mix and make your own. And I even bagged them up into little snack-sized Ziploc baggies, and I'm feeling so smart about it. You can get one of those mixes for like $1 and change, or you could go super duper from scratch. But I think those little mixes are where it's at. Those mixes are also good to pop in your mini waffle maker for a quick waffle mix that kind of tastes a little bit stepped up. Catrice Highlighting Hero Duo Pencil. I want to use some of this under my brow. This is the shade Daylight. This is like the matte color actually right here. So I'm just popping it on, blending it in. Am I getting lift? Am I getting youth? I don't feel like I'm 41 years old. I really don't. In my soul, I just don't feel like it. Danny Tanner just turned 30 on Full House. There's no way I'm older than Danny Tanner on Full House. I'm using Wet n Wild Mega Last just a little bit. That's all I'm using, guys. Because if you do overuse an eye primer, we all know it can kind of cause some creasing and troubles, but this is really good and it's kind of neutralizing for your eyelids. If you got any veins or any discoloration going on in that area and you didn't want to cake that area up with a bunch of concealer and foundation. I don't like the feeling of getting a lot of coverage products up on my eyelid and then thinking now on top of that I'm going to put a bunch of eyeshadow. That idea's just never set well with me. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild 5 pan in the shade Camo Flaunt. Looks like this. It has a full-on glitter in the middle, but like kind of some neutral tones there. I don't quite know what I'm going to wear on this date night, so I want to keep the eye something just very neutral. I'm going to go to that obvious crease shade at the end and just start running that in my crease. And I was thinking as I was looking through my drawer for which palette I was going to use, how I feel like in the past, if I declared like this is going to be an all drugstore look, like I don't even do that so much anymore. It just turns out that way. Like I don't put any effort or strategy into like, how are we going to make this all drugstore? They're just absolutely drugstore loves, more than a few in every category, and I don't even really have to think about it or wonder, you know, okay, well, then what am I going to use for this? Like, I feel like I'm kind of in a drugstore loving mode like never before, honestly. And I still like my high-end makeup, but it's just so satisfying to know you can get a great look with drugstore priced products too. Who's creeping at 6:06? I'm just kind of taking this shade to come up and meet that light underbrow stick that I put on. You remember that? Okay, we've got a super dark shade over here on the end. I haven't used this little 5 pan in a bit, but I'm going to take my Morphe M1 or 303. Don't you know my name by now? I know, you've done so much for me. I'm taking this dark matte and I'm going to get that going on the outside. I've had excellent staying power with my eyeshadows these days. So I fully expect that this look is going to still stay looking the same by 5 or 6 this evening. I think we're going to get some sushi. That's one of those things that like we love, but our kids really aren't into it, so we just never get it anymore. All right, I've gotten that patted into my outer corner. I think we just need to take the Profusion small pointed brush, a little bit of the same shade, and swirl that in the outer corner. So nice. This is a super duper like cool dark brown, the coolest dark brown ever. When you're working with a shade like this, it's just really important to start with your brush in the deepest and darkest parts and then blend out. Like you don't want to just randomly dab some darkness right out here. You know, it needs to originate from somewhere, and that's what's going to make it look blended and finished. So when you're coming in and you're thinking, okay, I want to add a little more, I want to bring it up out here. Well, you're not going to immediately go out there. You're going to go to the darkest part, like the crease, with a little more product, little by little, and you can slowly start to bring it upward and outward for some lift, you know? You get what I'm saying? I'll make that mistake. At times you'll just think, well, I can get it here and still get it blended. You will struggle a little bit with that random darkness that you didn't start close enough to your actual eye. I've heard really good things about the Superman movie, so that might be what we go see. I'm just going to take my crease brush that probably still has some of the crease color on it and just buff that over my edge. And then I'm liking the looks of this shade right here. Kind of soft rose gold. Oh, very rose gold. Okay, let's do that. See, it's really showing itself there. Smooth shimmer. And that's going to be on the inner part of the lid, overlapping a little bit of the dark. Since I might add some lashes to my look, I'm going to put on some Milani Stay Put Tank Liner. This stuff lasts so long. If you need a good long wearing, like last through anything eyeliner, it's always the last thing wanting to come off my look if I wear this. But I'm putting it on so should I choose to pop on lashes, I don't have to do this step later in the day. And it's so easy to put on, and it stays really nice and juicy. And then this is I Am Determined from Maybelline, and it's a nice cool brown shadow stick. It does not have any shimmer, which is kind of unique, honestly. I feel like a lot of the shadow sticks are just kind of packed with shimmer, but this one is not. And like so many that I love, it's going to set and not move on my lower lash line. So it's going to give me that nice smudgy look without being harsh, and it should stay all day. Then, you know what, I might break the drugstore rule just for a second, and I'm kind of enjoying this Buxom Lash Extension Lift Mascara, and it is tubing, so I'm going to use that. I'm liking the length, and I feel like I'll really enjoy the look even if I don't pop on lashes, and I can definitely trust that it's not going to go anywhere. For example, Lash Princess, yes, I love it, but it could flake perhaps a little bit. I want zero flaking, so go with the tubing. This one looks pretty natural on one coat, but after its second coat, it really starts to build up. And I tend to go in for the second coat right away. Oh no, I know some touched my eyelid, darn it. My memory card. Okay, I'm gonna deal with that. I'll come back and my lashes will be done. Okay, here's the eye all done with that mascara on, and then this is my lip combo that I'm gonna do today. It's gonna be kind of pinky. I think that'll be fun. This is the Catrice Plumping Lip Liner. This is some of the most long-wearing stuff. It's not really plumping, but it's very long wear. Cheers to Life is the shade. I love Catrice. Like, I've done 2 Catrice hauls over the course of this summer. Hi, Bisky. And there's still more on that website that I'm interested in. But I'm going to line my lips here. This is going to be the darkest part of the lip. I'll go ahead and fill in. Okay, see how pretty that is just on its own? Works with so many mauve-y or pinky lip looks. Then I'm going to take Glossed Up Rose from Revlon. This is their Shine formula. Kind of like a lip butter. And I'm going to pop that on top. I know this will need a reapplication, like this will be what needs touched up. Although the liner may still be there. There's that. Oh, that's so pretty. I really like the finish of that as is, but I did pull out a Yummy Gloss from CoverGirl just for even more shine. This is the shade Sugar Poppy. Not a lot of color with these, but the scent is outrageously good. Kind of tropical, sort of. Just get a little bit of that on. Yes, what a great pink lip. You know, little deep in pink. The lashes did not like behave how I wanted them to. I felt like it dried down even faster than it has the first few times I've used it, and it did not want to build on itself after a couple of coats. So we probably are looking at a false lash being added to this later on in the day, because I just want to feel good about the lashes. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine for now. Take off the old headband. There's my makeup for my date 12 hours from now. I truly do have confidence that this is all gonna last. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, let me know your requests down in the comments section. Are there any new products coming out that you'd like to see reviewed? Definitely let me know, and I will see you guys again soon. I love you. Bye.